It's pretty scrumptious. Let's do it, ladies.
If I had to pick one movie, especially one cartoon that's universally loved by millennials, it's a Goofy movie. Personally, I wasn't born in the 90s, but whenever I feel like time traveling, best believe I watch this movie. A unique phenomenon exists between all teenagers. We're terrified, horrified of becoming like our parents.
You look just like I did at your age.
Please don't say that, Dad.
I think we're scared of picking up their idiosyncrasies and their habits that get on our nerves. And I've thought a lot about this. I've done research. I don't know what you would call this as far as like psychology based. I don't know if it's considered a phobia or even qualifies as being any specific phobia, but I did want to share the thoughts of a psychologist. Dr. Karen R. Cohen explained that our fear of becoming like our parents realistically wouldn't happen as we fear it or even as Max fears it. She even says this fear could never happen, precisely because we're highly aware of disliking certain behaviors in general. For example, Goofy's laugh literally gives Max nightmares. Therefore, whenever Max laughs and sounds like his dad, we get third-hand embarrassment when it happens. And I think this is what Miss Cohen means when she's saying this could never happen. It's true for me, and I'm sure it's true for you. You just see certain behaviors of people that kind of like gives you the ick. So ironically, even though Max doesn't want to be like Goofy, they act very similar. They make people laugh by accident.
There, I was saying I didn't
Big.
They both do the perfect cast the same. They both dance the same. So I think the irony or what this movie is showing that the more you get close to your parents, assuming it's a healthy relationship,
High five, son!
the more we realize how similar we are to our parents, and that's not necessarily a bad thing at all. Put a pin in that. We'll come back to that.
Couldn't be mine.
If I were you, Mr. Goof, I'd seriously reevaluate the way you're raising your child before he ends up in the electric chair.
The electric chair?
So first off, I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert at parenting, but just keep this on file for the future. In the human growth development class, you'll likely learn the 4 common parenting styles. For the sake of time, we're just going to focus on a couple. But I think Goofy is trying to fall in line of an authoritative parent.
Stop goofing around.
An authoritative parenting is considered the ideal style for its combination of warmth and flexibility while still setting boundaries. Pete, on the other hand, is definitely authoritarian.
If you keep them under your thumb, they'll never end up in the gutter.
Authoritarian parenting uses strict rules, high standards, and punishment to regulate the child's behavior.
Watch this.
Authoritarian parents have high expectations and are not flexible on them. Think about Joe Jackson. So in weird ways, Goofy kind of morphs into a couple different styles throughout the movie. Initially, he's trying to be authoritative or the ideal parent, but he does have his faults. For example, talk to your son and get his side of the story, not just a principal crashing out. There are times where Goof is permissive. He doesn't really set boundaries and he acts like a doormat, and then he'll just crash out into authoritarian mode.
Maximilian,
What?
get your gear, little man. We're going fishing.
I mean now.
However, I think it's safe to say his heart is in the right place. He just simply wants to have a positive effect, but that's a complex goal when dealing with any teenager. So Goofy and Max, they don't quite speak the same language, but we'll come back to that. I block a lot of my younger years out of my mind. But one thing we can talk about is just a crush. A crush can be likened to a virus. Like once you're infected with it, you just kind of have to let it run its course. There's not too much you can do. It's not a quick fix solution. And how do crushes affect us? Well, leave it up to Psych2Go to explain why we do interesting things to get the attention of our POI, person of interest.
Professors found that the neural pathway connection in our brain that is responsible for critically assessing people tends to shut down when we're wrapped up in a crush. This can take away from your ability to make rational judgment calls.
So as you can see, interest gets you to act kind of dumb. Like you have a Riz level of negative 9,000, you stutter, you have this goofy, no pun intended, look in your eyes, and you tend to have really poor judgment.
My dad's taking me to the Powerline concert in LA.
That was probably kind of dumb. My bad.
Case in point, everything Max is doing is literally crazy, but that's kind of by design. His I Want To song, if you will, is entitled Stand Out. When you're affected with the type of infatuation and you're young and you don't know any better, all logic tends to go out the window. It's literally in the lyrics.
If I could make you stop and take a look at me instead of just walking.
How does Max make sense of all this chaos, and how does Goofy try to help him through this chaos? How can parents give their child space to grow up, and how can teens become their own person while still having their parents in their lives? Once again, assuming it's a healthy relationship. I just can't stress that enough. Well, that takes us to the fourth lesson, and Powerline says it best. When the music in this film plays, people start smiling. No skips from Powerline. Even the most casual fan will tell you that Powerline is based off of Bobby Brown, Prince, and the legendary king of pop, Michael Jackson. Not only are the songs in the film great, but they follow a musical structure that's masterfully explained by the YouTuber Sideways. I'll put a link in the description below. But for this final lesson, I'm going to talk about the last song, the showstopper, if you will, Eye to Eye. Most of us can agree that parents and teenagers can be like oil and water at times.
This is the stupidest vacation. You drive me from home, you jam me in this dumb car, then drive 1,000,000 miles away to see some stupid rat show.
Trying to understand one another can be like trying to see a painting that's behind a smudged glass. Eye to Eye shows that we can understand each other through communication and ultimately gain insight and understand one another's perspective. Insight is the ability to see the why behind the action and why people behave the way they do. Speaking of Michael Jackson, insight is basically just understanding human nature. So this is something that both parents and children, they don't get it instantaneously. It's something that you have to learn. But good parents understand they can't fully know what it's like to be in their child's shoes, but they do have the experience of being a child to empathize with their children. On the other side, teens can't fully articulate the best way to explain what they're going through with their parents, especially when they're struggling with a bunch of stuff. But teenagers should know that a healthy parental figure, all they want is for them to succeed in life. And not when it comes to money or external stuff, but I mean that a good parental figure would want their child to have peace and be happy with most of their decisions in life, despite the ups and downs that come with just being a human. Just like any other skill, communication is something that you just start out being bad and awkward. If you really can't talk about how you feel with your parents, write about it, text about it, talk over the phone, draw, or even sing about it, as this movie shows. But I think it's showing the more comfortable you are with your parents, the more they'll start feeling like lifeguards instead of prison guards. This film taught humanity what being a teenager and a parent is like simultaneously, all while comedically and musically emphasizing how important insight is into understanding one another. So that's pretty much it. In my opinion, that's why this film is and will continue to be a gem from the 20th century. But let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you can give it a like. If you want to talk more down below, let me know in the comment section. If you really enjoyed it, you can share it. As always, this is just a personal trainer geeking out over a fandom. Take everything I say with a gram of protein. And as always, remember to stay mentally fit, emotionally fit, and physically fit. And I will see you all in the next lesson.